Okay, hello everyone. Today we will continue from our last week topic. Okay, I'm going to start sharing my screen. There are a few functions that I need to introduce to you. Okay, so this is our topic. I need to remind you to always open the title block because it's not automatic. Some of you might maybe surprised when you open your skirt block and you don't find the title block open. But you just need to reopen it. You just need to show the title block to show it. I will show it again. So when you open your skirt block, let's say this one, I'm going to open my skirt block. Okay, now you see when I open it, you don't see the title block. Remember the yellow uh, title block containing all the informations of this pattern. Now you don't see it here. You can just show it. You can click display and then you go to title block and you can see it's open. Okay, so this is the first. Okay, I already remind you how to open the title block because it's not automatic. Okay, and then next, there's a need to make 45-degree line. If you make some patterns, you will use this function when you make the bodice pattern. I will show you how to do it. I'm using this as the base for the 45-degree line. So I'm going to F1 and then I will choose straight. I select the straight line. And if you want to make 45-degree line, you can just press Control and then you click on the point where you want your line to be 45-degree. I'm pressing Control right now and I will click on this point. Click and then just make this line, okay, goes into the 45-degree directions and then you can just click it. Okay, so this is how you make the 45-degree line. So basically, pressing Control can make the 45-degree in a way, and then if you move it to the horizontal, you can see it goes horizontal, but it's not precisely horizontal. Like you can see the pop-up on the left. You can see the DX here on the left. On top left, you can see DX, DY, and DL. DX 68.51, DY minus 0.16. That means it's not 0. There is the DY value to the y-axis, which is not supposed to happen when you want to make a completely horizontal line. So if you want to make a complete horizontal line, just make sure to put the dx and dy value. Horizontal, let's say I will just use downwards arrow. I will just, let's say, put 50. And then if you want to make a full horizontal line, you can go to the dy by pressing the downwards arrow and then just write 0. This will make a complete horizontal line, okay? The accurate horizontal line without any added value, either to the x value or to the y value. Okay, so Control can only be used to help you make the 45-degree line. This is still acceptable. But if you want to be more precise, maybe you can make the square shape first. Okay, for example, we can make square shape. I'm going to put 0 and then let's say 10 and then enter. And then you can also make the same here. Let's say dx minus 10 and then 0. And then you go downwards, let's say this way. Same dx 0. This is minus 10. So you got the complete square. And if you want the full or the real, sorry, the accurate 45-degree value, you can just use the square as your guide. And then you can click the straight and then you can make it like this. This is 45-degree line accurately. Or if you want to use the pressing the control, okay, it will also help you to make the 45-degree more or less the same. You can see it like this. Okay, pressing the control, click the point and make the 45-degree line. Okay, so that's how you make the 45-degree line. I'm using the undo here, undo options. Okay, and then I forgot to put it here, but I can just add one more to resize or adjust the sheet. So like this, if somehow I enlarge my worksheets, whether accidentally or with intention, and then undo, you can see that it's not very well adjusted to the size of this pattern. Okay, you can make your sheets adjusted to the size of your pattern. You can go to the sheet here on top menu, and then you can find adjust here, or you can just use the shortcut pressing A from the keyboard. You can do the same thing like what I do. Currently, you go to sheet and then you go to adjust, or you can just press A from your keyboard. I will click here, click, and now you see the sheet is adjusted. So don't worry if somehow you got things like this accidentally or with intention and you want to adjust your worksheets, you can go. Now I'm not using the sheet options. I will just press A. Here I'm pressing A. It's adjusted. All right. So that's our second and third topic today. And then next, I will show you how to make the perpendicular line or 90-degree from the slanted line. This is also, you need to use this when you, let's say, you want to make some shape with the help of slanted line. Let's say I have this slanted line, not exactly 45-degree, just slanted line, or here. Or, okay, I will just use another worksheet just for this option. Okay, so I'm going to put a slanted line like this or like this. And here from these two lines, I'm going to show you how to make the perpendicular line or 90-degree from the slanted line. Here I have two slanted lines. So I'm going to show you how to make this perpendicular line. First, you click straight from the F1, and then you click straight. And then press Shift. You need to press the Shift button from your keyboard. And then you click on the slanted line. Click. Now you see it's 90-degree. And how to put this line? First, you need to release the shift. and then you click it. Make sure to release the shift. Okay, I will show it again. I'm pressing the shift from my keyboard, and then I click on the line, and I'm releasing. So my hands is not pressing any shift. So I'm releasing my fingers from the shift button, and then I click here, make it 90 degree. Okay, so what happened if I keep pressing the shift and I click one time to end the function? So let's see what's happened. You can see I'm pressing the shift now, and then I click on this slanted line, and then I keep pressing the button, the shift button, and you need to see my cursor. Let's say I'm bringing my cursor near one end of the line, like this here. You can see the cursor is here. The cursor head. It's a little bit far from the original line location. I'm still pressing the shift, and then I click here. Click. So now the line is moved to the position of my cursor. So please pay attention. If you really want to make your line over here towards the top or towards the bottom, make sure to release your shift and then you click it. This is how to make the 90-degree line from the slanted line. So now we need to make the perpendicular line from the slanted line. That's how you do it. And it's the same with this is maybe the degree is not that high, but this is quite, the slanted is quite high degree. You can do the same thing. You can press the shift and then you can click and then you can release your shift and then click on it. So this is how you do it. Don't forget, you can also use your thumb tools I have mentioned before. Just press J. Now you can see all the worksheets. This is the cover, and then this is the block. And oh, I haven't delete the name. I will show you how to delete, how to make the name. Please wait a moment. Okay. So this is our fourth topic finished. And then I want to show you how to use the measurement or ruler. Okay, let's go back uh, to our pattern. Some of you asked me how to zoom out after you zoom in last week. You can just press home to zoom out. You can always press home to zoom out, and then you can always press enter, and then you click, and then you drag it to zoom in the parts you want to enlarge. Okay, so now I want to show you how to use the ruler. Okay, ruler is, you can find it on F8. This is F8. And then you can find length measure. This is the ruler, length measure. Activate length measure so that you can use the ruler. And how we do the measurement or how we use the ruler, we can only measure line per line. So you cannot measure everything at once if it has more than one line. For example, here, for example, I'm using the dart. I'm going to maybe this one. Oh, no. I'm using this. Let's check. So here I activate the length measure and I'm going to use this to measure the line. If I click on this point, you can see that the ruler can go to the left throughout to the left, and then you can click on the end point. Okay, and then there is this pop-up on the left, on the top left, and here you just need to press enter. Now you can see the measurement is 24.75. And what about this line? What do I need to do with this information? You just need to know that this has 24.75 centimeters. There's nothing to do with the orange line. You just need to know the measurement. If you already know the measurement, you can just go to deletions and then delete the measuring lines, or you can just simply do the Control Z, undo. Okay. If the line has, let's say, 2 or more lines connected, I will just check this first. Okay, so you can see here, there is this straight line from this top to this one. Let me check if this line can be measured one time using F8 length measure. And then I'm going to click on this point. Oh yeah, you can. You can measure one time, but not all the time. Let's say this line stops here. Let's say. Or, yeah, I'm going to use, let's say, let me just delete. Okay. Let me just delete this line first. Oh, some of you also have questions like this, deleting one line, this one, and then it will delete everything like this. Okay, it is because you made it from one single line. I'm going to delete this. Let's say this. Okay. So now you see I'm going to use 2 lines for this. Let's just check. F8 length measure. All right. So if I use multiple lines, I cannot do measurements one time. So here, I will just enlarge this part. Okay, I will zoom in this part. You can see the side, yeah, of the back. Now I'm using the length measure. So this point, I want to measure to this point, to the hip. I'm using I already activate the length measure. I click on this point and then see how I cannot put it downwards because this line, I made it with different straight lines. So it's not one single line. I use multiple lines to make my pattern. So in this case, what should I do? You can just measure multiple lines one by one. That's fine too. So here you can stop at this point, and then there's this pop-up, and then you can just press enter and do it again from this point. And oh, what happened if the line is not to the direction that I wanted? Don't worry, you can just press the space bar to change the direction of the line of the measurement. Okay, now here, stop on this point. You can click at that point and then see there is this pop-up. Sometimes you forgot that you need to press enter sometimes. And then you just click and nothing happened. And then, oh, I should have pressed enter. And when you press enter, nothing happened. Why? Because at this part, the pop-up is still needs to be pressed enter. You need to do something to this pop-up. You haven't done anything yet to this pop-up. So that's why it's kind of freezing. You can see it's not it's not the active function now. The active function is on the back, the skirt block. So the active sheet is on the back. But we need to activate this to end the function, to end the length measure. So we need to click again here. See now how it's activated again. And then you click on the measure name box, and then you press enter. Now the pop-up is gone. You can continue with your measuring measuring the lines. Okay, and then do it again for this line. Okay, change the directions, pressing the space bar, and then you can click here and then press enter. Now you have 3 lines that you have measured. What happened with these informations? You just need to use calculator to measure all the values. 2 plus 16 plus 5 if you need the full length of the line. Because sometimes, let's say, I will just undo. Sometimes you need to know a certain length of line. Let's say I need to have this, let's say there is this line from this here. And let's say I need to add some centimeters towards this direction, let's say. So I need to know this line first, the length of this line first. How long is this length? So I can add the right length to this direction. Okay, so let's check our next topic. Okay, use the measurement ruler. Oh, and then I will just move the topic here. Number 6 topic is to extend line, or we can use the len str line. This is the continuations of this function. So first, let's say I want to measure this line. I'm going to measure this line by using length measure. I'm clicking this, and then you can just click the end point, and then you press enter. Now it's 20.49. And let's say I want this line to have 25 centimeter length, let's say, or 22 centimeter length. So how many centimeter more I have to add? You can just use the calculator. I always use the calculator to make sure I put the right length. Let's say I need to have it 22, so I need 1.51 centimeters more. Okay, so what do I do? So in this case, I need to go to F3. This is the function that you can use, len str line. This function, I also will use it to extend the dart lines. I will show it to you later, but I'm going to show you how to extend this 20.49 centimeters length to 22 centimeter length line. So here, len str line is on F3. So you go to F3. In F3, you can find len str line. And then you click on this line, on the line where you want to len. Len stands for lengthen. So this stands for lengthen straight line. Here I'm going to click on the line here. I can lengthen it towards this side or towards that side. Okay, but I have to undo first. I have to make sure I didn't select the line. Yeah, because I just want to extend the line towards one direction to the bottom. not to the top. So here I'm activating the len STR line or lengthen straight line. So I'm clicking this line, and then you can see the pop up here. Just uh, you can see it. So if you move your cursor towards the bottom, the line will go to bottom. Yeah, will extend towards the bottom. And if you have your cursor head towards the top, okay, the extension will also follows the cursor towards the top. So it will follows where the head of your cursor is located. Okay, so I want to add towards the bottom, let's say this way. And make sure to always use the keyboard function. Here you need to press the downwards arrow. I'm pressing the downwards arrow. And then add 1.51 and enter. And then just click anywhere one time. Click. Now you have your 22 centimeter length. I want to make it into one line, not two lines. That's fine because we can just delete this line and you still have the point here, and you can just make a new line from the original point to the new point. This is 22 centimeter length line. Okay, I'm going to undo that. And I'm going to use this same function to extend the dart lines. F3, len STR line, and all you need to do is to attach this dart to the new waistline. So you need to use this function to extend the lines so that it's over the original waistline, and it passed over it passed through the new waistline. So like this, you need to have your dart lines overlapping the lines, the waistline like this. And then what's next? So we need to adjust these lines. Okay, I will add one more. Adjust two lines here. After you extend the line, you need to adjust two lines in order to make the complete darts. So make sure to overlap the new waistline. And then what you need to do is you still in F3, and then you click adjust two lines. And in this adjust two lines, first you need to click the real dart lines which are going inside this waistline. Click on the line that is inside, not outside, but inside of the waistline. I will click this one first. Click, and then I will adjust this line to attach it to the waistline. So the next line I'm going to click is the waistline. Click. So this adjust to lines function, it will help you to adjust the two lines that are overlapping and make them attached. So you need to click two times. Click on the line that you want to keep, and this one you want to keep the real dart lines, which is inside the waistline. I will click this one too. Click. And then I will click where the line needs to be attached. Now I will click the waistline here. Click. Now this line is attached to the waistline. And you also need to do that to the other dart line. I will click on the dart, on the real dart. Click, and to the waistline. Click. Now you have all the three darts attached on the real waistline. And what's next? You see there are points on this unused original waistline. What you need to do is you go to deletion, make sure to delete these unused points. So keep them clean. After you attached all these dark lines to the new waistline, make sure to delete the original points on the original waistline using deletion. And then you go to the front here, you do the same. You can just use F3, len str line, make sure these 3 dark lines are overlapping, and then use adjust to lines and make sure these click, yeah, all these lines are adjusted. And then don't forget to go to deletion and then delete all the unused points. So this is how you make your darts attach to the new waistline. And some questions also asking about what happened if I delete one line. I think I have mentioned this earlier. We can if I delete one line and all the lines are deleted like this one, what happened? Yeah, nothing happened. You can just make a new line. Just attach a new line. That's not going to be a problem. Okay. And then we go to the next. Okay, adjust to lines finished, extend line also finished. Then this is a question from your friend last week. Height scale. What is scale? Sometimes you accidentally press some shortcuts that you might use it in different apps. For example, showing the scale like Control S or uh, let me check, or Control H, let's say. So here you see, sometimes you can see this happen. There are scales. We call it scales. And when you make the pattern, you might find this annoying. You want to turn this off. Okay, if you see the scales appeared on your sheets, don't worry, you go to display and you might have activated the scale accidentally. You can just deactivate it. Okay, that's easy. All right, so height scale is finished. And then next is I will show you how to add the notch and change the notch directions. So if you make patterns, make sure to put the notch where the notch is supposed to be. For example, at the dart parts, at the zipper part, at the hip, at the center parts of something. So you need to put the notch to make it easier for you to sew the pattern, to sew the pattern pieces. Now, how to make the notch is go to F2, and in F2 you can see notch option. Okay, I'm going to zoom in first. Okay, now I will activate the notch function. Once the notch function is activated, you can go to the point where you want to put the notch. Let's say you want to put the notch here, and then you just click the notch here, click. See, there is some bold lines. This is the notch, but the notch directions or the orientation is not where it's supposed to be. I will show you later how to change the directions. Now let's say I want to put another notch here. Click, see, you can see the notch. All right, how to change the notch orientations or the directions? You can go to this function, orientation below the notch. You click on it, and then you see the line or the notch here. You can click on the notch and then you can change the directions according to the the way you want it to be. Usually it will be like this, but I cannot see it. So for now, I want you to make it going outside, outwards, a little bit uh, outwards, following the shapes of the line like this. So I can see if you already put the notch or you haven't. So I can check your work easier. Okay, just make sure if you use this function in the real fashion industry, make it to the direction of the line or of the dart. Okay, usually like this. But I want you to put it like this towards the outside so I can see it clearly. However, there are different types of notch. This notch is the one that we usually use it inside. However, you can find different types of notch. On here, you can see the duck ear shaped corner, and then when you click it, sorry, not this one. On the notch, on the notch part, you can see the duck ear shaped corner. When you click it, you can see different types of notch. Number 20 here. This is the original, and then there is this shape, there is this shape, and also this shape. And different types of notch are used in different kinds of situations, different kind of garments. Usually this kinds of notch is where you usually use it and they will cut it inside. But if you make something small, for example, Barbie's clothing or undergarment where you cannot make the notch inside. If you make the notch inside, you will cut the whole fabric. So you can use different type of notch. You can use either this notch or this notch. This notch will make it, I will use it. Okay. This notch will be used like this way and it will form the triangular. It will go outside. Okay. And this will be detected in the machine. But this is our original. I will just delete it. Wait a moment. Oops. Okay. Sorry. Here, this one. And then putting it outside. And you can click the notch or here, close. So that's how you put the notch and change the orientations of the notch. Okay, putting the notch with F2 and the notch and change the orientations. You go with the orientations and then change the orientations for now towards the outside so I can see your notch. I can check whether you have put or you haven't put the notch on your pattern. All right, so you can also do the same thing on the other side. And you can also make sure to clean all the lines that is not needed. You can see like this here. And then if the function deletes some lines, you can just make a new line. And then here I'm going to use adjust two lines, this one. Okay, this is clean. And then the other side. Okay, I will use also maybe adjust two lines, or you can just use deletion. That's fine too. I will delete this, and then I will delete this, and then delete this, and add a new line here. All right. And then let's see. All right. I'm going to delete the sheet here. Just wait a moment. So this is almost finished. This is your skirt pattern. I believe some of you will finish this today. So let's check this one. Yeah, notch and change the notch directions. And then finished. Almost finished. We want to add the grain line. We need to also put the grain line on this pattern. So first, we need to make sure how many pieces you want to make from this pattern. Oh, I haven't put the notch here. Please wait a moment. Okay, you can see. Now here, I want to add the grain line. The grain line is on F4. Now, let's say I want to make top and bottom pattern pieces separately. So that makes I need to make two grain line for the top pattern and for the bottom pattern. Do not only make one grain line because the grain line you put on the pattern block will determine the number of the pattern pieces you will make later on. So for example, you also want to separate the center and the side. You need to also put the grain lines on both of these patterns. And if you want to put the lining, for example, there is a lining that covers the top and the bottom, then you need to make the grain line that has the prolonged line that covers the top and the bottom parts. I will show you how to make it. So you can see here axis in F4. In axis. You can see it axis. And you can see the dog ear shaped corner here. You click on it. Okay, I will do it again. Axis, and then you see the dog ear shaped corner on the axis. You click on it. Now you see there are so many lines that we can use. Grain line, cross line, and so many other lines. However, in Lectra, we use basic function. We only use grain line for the pattern block, and for the later pattern piece, we only use grain line and special axis. So in total, we only have to use two types of axis from here, from these options. We use mainly grain line for both the pattern block and pattern piece, and also the special axis only for the pattern piece. I will show it to you later when we have our pattern pieces ready. But now we click on the grain line because we want to put the grain line on our pattern block. So now I will click on the top. Let's say I will have three pattern pieces, the top, bottom, and lining. So if you want to make the grain line straight shape, you can press Control. Okay, just use the Control to the grain line. If you don't use Control, it might be slanted. It's not a good thing to do in this production, because when you want to cut or you want to process it into the marker, then the directions is not straight. It's not suggested. It's not recommended. Now press the Control, make sure it's straight. This is for the top pattern. And I'm going to use Control and put the grain line for the bottom pattern. And I'm going to also press Control, and then I will make a line that covers the top and the bottom for the lining pattern. And I will do the same for this. Okay, and then you can also put it like this. That's fine too. That makes this pattern has 6 pattern pieces in total. 3 for the back, 3 for the front. Okay, 3 for the back, 3 for the front. All right, so this is almost finished. We can close the axis. We have finished putting the axis here on your pattern. Now, the final topic of today is to completing the pattern block by naming the pattern. For the pattern block, you need to name it with the pattern name. Now we have the skirt block. You can name it with this name, skirt block. And if you have your bodice block, make sure to name it bodice block. And if you have sleeve block, make it sleeve block too. All right. Now, how to put the name on this? If you haven't activated the title block, let's say I forgot and I don't think I needed to do that, you cannot find the name. You can only find the name function once you activate the title block function. You go to display and then open the title block. Now you see comment box here at the bottom of the title block. This is where you put the name of your pattern. And how to name the pattern block is you go to edit function at the top here and then click edit again. So edit, and then click besides the colon here on the after the comment besides the colon, you click on it. Now you see the cursor. Now you type skirt block and then enter. Then you got your skirt block name on this pattern block and it's finished. This is your first block finished. Now what you need to do is you make sure to check all the access path is correct. Make sure to also save it. Don't forget to activate the auto save function at the beginning of the process so that you won't lose a process along the way. All right, I think that's it. Please watch this video until the end, guys, and please take notes. And yeah, your assignment is to complete the 3 blocks. Okay, completing. I will just put, oh, sorry. I will just put your assignment here. Assignment, completing all the 3 basic blocks. And then if you have completed all of them, I will check it. Okay, I guess that's it. Thank you.